Okay, so how do you replace a rotten board in your deck that otherwise is fine? A couple different ways. My deck here is redwood, so haven't had too many issues, but occasionally there are some spots that it rots. So what you need to do is, let's pretend that this board here is bad, and let's ignore that it's under a brace here. Just pretend that this railing isn't here. So let's pretend that this section here is the bad part. What you need to do is find the next stud, and you can see here there's a screw. So you found the stud. So if you get close, you can actually see where the deck board is. You can actually feel it too. There's the board. There's the board. So you can tell it goes right here. So if this is your board, here's your screws. One, you look close, it's pretty much centered. This one here is definitely off center where the board is. So in this case, I'm gonna draw a line right next to this screw, and it's gonna come down here. This screw would definitely be on. How do we do that? Oh, and by the way, these are angled boards, so I'll look at one that's not angled after this, but take your square and there we go, right there. So if you can see in that crack, probably can't see it, but board is right there. So I'm going to draw a line right down here. Okay, so now pretend I got a line there. How do we get it out? Two ways. Got a line. If this was the middle of a board or ended here, if this was just the end, the easiest way that I found is to grab your drill and a wood bit. 1 inch works well, and just drill through. Then take your oscillating tool or jigsaw, cut through. So now this board would be loose in the middle, but it's not loose here yet. So the next thing I do is take my jigsaw. Okay, we're taking the jigsaw and cutting along our line here. Okay, how do we do that? Again, I'm going to use drill bit. I'm going to drill right through here next to the stud, all the way through. Then I created a template, or I run my jigsaw over this way. The tip goes up and down. You want the tip at the bottom peak to go just through the deck board, but not through the stud or into the stud. So this part took a little work to get that the right height. So this does work. Again, drill a hole straight through here. Use the jigsaw, cut into here, under your line, and just go straight up using your template. This way you won't go too deep, then back through. Or the other way to do it, you can use the oscillating tool, get a good wood bit. This one is not correct, plus it's pretty beat up. I found the easiest way is just to go score it straight down and then use it and plunge it right down. So I've done both ways. This way tends to be a little bit quicker, but if you're not so steady, the line won't be so straight. So that's loose then. Then it's loose here, it's cut here. This board will then be loose and come out. This board here you can then rock up and down and get the end off. Again, we're not worrying about this, pretending this is not here. In the end, you come with this. The hole. So I determined that what I had left wasn't quite enough. Probably could have made it work, but I wanted a little bit more to put a screw down in here. So I took a 2x4, pulled it up tight here, and used a nail gun, banged some nails in, got another good support. I've also used a palm nailer for tight spots. I was able to fit my nail gun in this hole. I've been other spots where I had to use a palm nailer. Using a hammer and nail is really difficult under the deck, especially in smaller spots. Palm nailer is really the easiest if you have one. You can use a screw and a drill, but again, you gotta have all that clearance to get the drill in there. So luckily this worked here. So cut your new deck board using, again, in this case it's a 45 degree. It's there. Slide it in. I like to do a couple pilot holes with the drill, otherwise sometimes this tends to split. So in this case I'm going to go right there and there, drill it. Right there. Done. Pretty simple. Actually done two of them. Same thing over there. So now how do you do it on a straight deck boards? It's actually easier. In this case, so this is a straight deck board. Easy to see where the nails are and the studs are. Just find your next stud. In this case, I've got lots of studs down here. Straight lines, no angles, no 45 degree angles. Same thing, but you can see here if I took out this one board and if I had to put another brace on there, 2x4, 2x6, not too much room, so a palm nailer works handy down there. And one more situation. So I will add, when you're taking this old board out, and say pretend it's an old board, and you're rocking it and it's broken there, this part here lifts up. You can always use that oscillating tool, again with a bit for metal. I'd chew my bits up a lot because I chop off a lot of nails and they don't seem to last, but you can get that nail off flush with a stud and just leave it in there. You have to pull it out and split the wood. Just come in under it and get it. So that leaves me to my next one. So this one's easier. This is actually the outside of the deck. As you can see, I don't want to do wood filler there. I'm just going to take this board out. So this one actually should be pretty easy. You got a screw there, screw there, screw there. I'm going to take those out. Hopefully the board will be loose. There might be one back in there. If it's under, here, that's where this tool hopefully will be able to reach. So I'm going to pause this, take those screws out, see what happens. Too rusted, too painted over, not going to come out. I really don't want that to be another screw. Shoot, another screw back there. So I'm going to use my tool I might have to take this board in half. Not going to reach. So in this case, I'm going to chop through here a few different times and split this board off. Then I'll be able to come at it under and do that. Try to do one-handed. Just made a few chops. Let's see if this works. A little more. A few more. There we go. Get off. Again, I don't have the best bit on here. So I'm gonna go, here it is, through here, through, try and hold the camera. Bit'll do. Got no teeth left. Get the other ones. Okay, we got them off. But instead that one's rotted. There's one there. One there, that one might be rotted. So I'm gonna pry this up. I might need a tool, I'll try my hands. Okay, so it's loose down here. We got one screw back there. Pretty much just one screw. Let's keep this thing in. I can't get to there on the other side because the railing bottom is there. So screws right there. And the tool doesn't quite reach. I'm just going to use the tool, chop out a little section, and then go one farther. I'm going to do that. There's that screw back there. So, gotta get this all cleaned out. Oops. Bit of paint. And yes, I know my blade is terribly dull. I know. Paint and caulk. Hanging that thing on. Ow. One little thin wristy nail. Otherwise, that's clean. Nail there. Just gonna grab a pliers and rip those out. Otherwise, it's all clear. So then, you just take this deck board, ends are still clean, just go length, match it up on top of another board, trace it, and use my miter saw. You can even use a hand saw if you want. Just cut a new deck board. Take that deck board and slide it in. I'm not going to worry about putting screws back deep again because you can't stand there anyway. So just 1, 2, 3. and that's it. But I'm replacing with treated decking. Reason I'm not doing redwood is two reasons. One, because it's super expensive, and number two, I can't find the same thickness. The redwood that I find now is slightly smaller, so I was always having to try and I'd put some washers on the joist and make it raise the level of it, so that just got to be too much of a pain. And since I'm staining it solid color anyway, it doesn't really matter. And I do like to leave the treated unpainted for a while before I paint it, so the moisture in the boards can hopefully come out. I probably won't stain these boards again until next spring. But I was about to wrap things up and I found another board that I'm going to do now, and you can watch do it. Right there. Obviously routed. It's a small section, about 3.5 feet. So it goes from the house here, and I'm probably just going to do this little piece here, this little 1 foot spot, just because. Yeah, that's what I figured. Right up there. So easy enough. I'm not going to have to angle cut a board across the stud, because it's just going to go straight from here to there. So getting these two boards out is the next step. Okay, I'm going to take these boards out. I don't have to use this drill. I could just use this. Sometimes it's harder to start this here, plus my blade is really bad. But I can blast through here pretty fast, go through here pretty fast, and you'll see what I do. Then I'll take these nails out. Hopefully it's got enough teeth on it to get them out. 4, 5, 6. You can see this. Oh, can't quite see it. Over here. These two should be loose. Okay, this one's clean. This one I've got to cut. stud down there. Okay, deck-wise we're done, but obviously I found another problem. But you can see we're all clear. So now it's just measure this board and do your 45-degree cut from here to here. I'm not going to do that for you, assuming you can do that. But obviously, we've got an issue here. The cedar siding here down where it touched this deck board was rotted, so I took that out. That's going to be fun. I have to wood fill the best I can because I'm not going to rip out more of the deck just to replace the piece that goes behind this. What is that, a 2x10? So I'm not taking that out. Plus the siding only probably goes down to maybe there. So it's spongy. Here it's okay. This is fine. It's down there. Which I imagine is probably the length of the house because it's 20-some years old. So, but I'm gonna have to dig that out more, let it dry, wood fill it, then I'll attach my board. But as far as deck boards go, that's it. Done except for the board. Always fun when you find other projects. I might have to see if I can get a piece of cedar and slide it down there just to fill it, because that's going to be a lot of filling in. We'll see. Okay, hopefully it helped, and I will charge my battery and get some new blades and hopefully not have another one of these this year. Questions, comments, let me know.